What's up, Summoners? King Blair here. With the third season of RTA being in full swing, I wanted to do a top 5 units you need to watch out for in this current season. So if you like the video, make sure you like, subscribe, and join the Discord server. Link down in the description. Alright, without further ado, let's get right into it. So before we even start, and before we get to honorable mentions, I just want to say what the purpose of this top 5 is going to be. So the idea behind this is that there's a lot of units that we know are very strong this season, and we've known they're strong from previous seasons, right? So Fallen Cecilia, Ambitious Taiwan, they're all strong. What I want to do with this top 5 is introduce you guys to some new units that you may not have known about that are doing a huge impact in the current meta, and if you have these units, I recommend you build them because they're going to be quite powerful. So what I mean by that is units like Fallen Cecilia, Last Rider Krau, Ambitious Tywin. We know these units are OP. We know that Arbiter Vildred is going to be really strong. We know that Remnant Violet is going to be strong. We know Seaside. We know all these units are already strong. But what we want to do is the new units you need to watch out for. So, all right, with that in mind, let's go to the honorable mentions. And I do have a couple for this one. Two of them being for Cleave. Especially if you're a Cleave player, you shouldn't be ignored, right? So Celeste, going to be a really good speed contester unit with the meta being so fast and her having such high base speed and having an AoE skill that pushes back. It's a really good option for setting up your Sedum and also for outspeeding your opponent with your Oxlots. The other one, of course, being Watcher Shuri, because he as well gives a speed imprint and is able to carry Sachet Thanes, which will allow you to cycle a lot better and can easily one-shot units like if they were nothing. So those two for Cleave. I also want to quickly talk about Landy because she is amazing at stopping a lot of those tank teams with Last Rider Krau and Fallen Cecilia. Very, very powerful unit. Does require a lot of limited artifact and a lot of really good builds and units to do really good. But if you have the right setup, she is unstoppable. Alright, but with the honorable mentions out of the way, let's get to the top 5. Starting with none other than the boy himself, Champion Serato. Y'all, if you recall your Champ C, RIP. He's going to be one of the best units in this current season. Control is everywhere this season, and Champ C being able to easily send those debuffs back is very, very powerful. So if you have your boy Champ C set up, you're going to be having a good time. His ability to not be stunned, not be slept, and counterattack whenever he is debuffed with a skill that hits 2 targets is extremely, extremely powerful. And of course, being a mage and having access to Leather Violin and having AoE skills is really, really nice, as well as having some really nice debuffs. So Champ C being a really good unit. So if you're a control player, you need to watch out for Champ C because he can really mess up your day. Honestly, it's a really, really good unit. Alright, now on to number 4. Now this one is going to be an MO 5-star, so not everyone will have him, but you still need to know about this unit and still need to watch out for it. Sage Ball and Saison. So many people are underestimating this unit still, especially in the lower brackets. A lot of people don't really know what he does, and they will underestimate it and get beat by it. So he's a really good counter to Cleave because his S2 allows him to get combat readiness, cutting into the Cleave team, and then being able to sleep the whole Cleave team. And the nice thing about it is you don't need insane speed, right? My Sage Ball is only at 230 speed, and he does the job at stopping Cleave pretty nicely, right? So I'm pretty happy with the Sage Ball, right? So very, very strong in countering Cleave and not necessarily needing as much help with it. The thing is, in a control team, he can really lock down the opponent with this S1 and the S2. And the S3 being able to execute is really, really dangerous. And then having a silence afterward, it can really mess up someone's day. So Sage Ball and Saison, very, very, very powerful unit in this new season. Just doing so much good stuff. Now on to the number 3, and this one being a 3-star. This one people have started seeing it, but I'm gonna say it again. Adventurer Ross is stomping in this season. His versatility to fit in different teams and his ability to dual attack with other allies is very, very powerful with us too, especially with units like Spectre Tenerium. When you can soul burn the skill, it can do a lot of damage. Also units like Landy, he sets up very nicely into those type of units, gives them immunity and attacks with them. Ross being a very, very solid, versatile knight, being able to be aggressive as well as defensive with the S3 and setting up the increased defense. Everyone has access to this guy. Go build him. You're not going to regret it. He can definitely get you some wins in the RTA season. Now, on to the number 2. This one is going to be kind of like one that you're like, come on, really? But yes, she is going to be here. So I don't know if you've been living under a rock or a cave or whatever, but Cerise is insane. So if you don't know who Cerise is, because you've been living under that rock, let me just quickly go over her skills. Cerise is going to be one of the most annoying control units, counters to cleave, and just pretty much everything, and has made the game go much faster. So she has extremely high base speed starting at 122 and pretty good defensive stats for a ranger. The S1 allows you to dual attack when your S3 is on cooldown. The S3 itself being really dangerous for cleave teams. The restrict is able to stop them from getting CR pushing, which will stop units like Faithless Lidica and Oxlots from pushing up. And since your Cerise is usually faster than those, they are forced to bring speed imprints, which is why Celeste and other units are so important. The decreased speed, of course, being really annoying and allowing you to lap all the time. And the S2 to top it all off, being able to stun the opponent and apply a cannot be buff debuff. Very, very powerful unit. One of the most annoying units to go against, especially when people have really good ones. And if you don't have a lot of answers to her, it can get pretty scary, right? Cerise, definitely a scary unit to try and go against. So, of course, she's limited, but she should be coming in the future. And now on to number 1. This unit I was wrong about on release. It's way more broken than I expected. Fairy Tale Tenerium. Fairy Tale Tenerium right now is the unit you really, really need to watch out for. Everyone and their grandmas is starting to build Fairy Tale Tenerium, and she has become my pre-ban. Even over units like Fallen Cecilia, because this unit is just so freaking hard to deal with overall. So what does she do, right? This one doesn't seem like much, right? It's actually really bad skill. It literally just sets up a 1-turn poison, and it has a very low chance of proccing, right? It's still annoying. It can still do damage. It can still do things against a Tywin and counter a Tywin, but that's not what she's known for. This S3 with the Tea Party is able to attack all your enemies, strip, setup cannot be buffed, and redirect to provoke, which forces your units to attack the highest health unit. This S3 alone just wins fights because you're able to strip, setup cannot be buffed, stop buffs from like Fallen Cecilia, Last Rider Krau, all these different buff units, put this on them, provoke them so they lose their turn, and then after the unit with the provoke attacks, you attack with another S2 that applies a random debuff that is silence, decreased defense, and unhealable. All really nasty debuffs that could just straight up just win you a fight. And people are building her extremely fast because of how fast her base speed actually is. And she has really good defensive stats as well, making her really hard to take down, really hard to deal with, and just really, really annoying. This unit by herself is able to win fights. If you're not prepared to deal with this unit and your opponent picks her, you are going to be forced to ban her. The ways that you deal with her, of course, are going to be either by stacking buffs with Fallen Cecilia early on, or having units with high effect resistance, or of course having Champion Serato, which is why Champ C is so strong. But yeah, Fairy Tale Tenebria, really, really powerful. The unit you really need to watch out for in this new season, or you're going to get stomped. So hopefully this top 5 helps you see a little bit better of some very strong units that are new to the current meta. Now, again, I do want to, before I close the video out, remind y'all that units like Tywin, Last Rider Croft, Fallen Cecilia, they're all extremely, extremely good units. Units like T-Surin are here to stay. And units like Seaside Bologna, right? Another honorable mention before I close out the video is going to be Assassin Sid and Akali, since their high base speed and with how aggressive everything is, does help them out a lot. Alright, that is all I have for you guys today. If you think I missed a unit, let me know that in the comments. What's a unit that you've been seeing a lot more that you've never seen before? But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today, and I will see y'all next time. Peace.